This is Nick.
This is Jack.
It's Friday, the real Friday, November 22nd, and today's pod is the best one yet. This is a TBOY.
The top 3 pop business news stories you need to know today.
At this point, I do smell Jack. It's been 5 days in the same TBOY sweatsuit.
I can't believe you're still wearing that. Thanks to everyone who bought our TBOY holiday merch. The sales closed yesterday. We got a ton of orders.
A record-setting merch drop. Jack, you're looking fantastic over there, although you changed so you don't smell. But in the meantime, 3 stories for today's pod. Jack, what do we got on the show?
For our first story, McDonald's is bringing back the McRib. Again, because Ronald needs some help.
We'll tell you why the McRib isn't just strategic. The McRib is a superhero.
For our second story, Black Friday is 1 week from today. But Black Friday sales began November 1st.
Why is Black Friday now Black-vember? Well, it all makes sense after our story. Trust us.
And our third and final story. The first big move from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency might be a tax app.
An app that files your taxes for free just shocked Wall Street.
But Yetis, before we hit that wonderful mix of stories.
A fantastic mix of stories. And thank you again to all the besties who bought the merch. You guys were absolutely fantastic. Amazing support.
Yetis, some say that your Instagram homepage is a reflection of your soul.
Yes, Jack, the For You page on Instagram, it is a tapestry of topics upon which you have tapped.
My homepage, right now, it's half 1990s New York Yankees dynasty videos.
Yeah.
And half Tyrion Lannister lecturing Joffrey in the King's Hall.
I knew there were going to be some classic Jeters in there, Jack. Right now, I'm looking at cupcakes. I'm looking at pizza.
But here's the issue. Some people don't like what they see on their homepage.
No, Yeti, some of you feel like, you know what, Instagram? You don't know me.
And others of you don't want people seeing your homepage.
Instagram, you know me a little too well.
Well, here's the news. Instagram is testing a reset button for your homepage.
We repeat, one button that resets the recommendations that you see on Instagram.
Meta is calling this a recommendation reset.
But Jack and I, we've got our own branding department. We call it an algorithm amnesty.
Because that tapestry of taps that you see on your homepage, you might be sick of it.
Because you've once tapped a TikTok about tennis, and now all you're seeing on Instagram are topless pics of Rafael Nadal.
You poked a post about poker once, and now you're drowning in Texas Hold'em content.
Jack, I skimmed a carousel from Skims, and now my For You page, it is not safe for work, man.
So Instagram may let you push the reset button.
That's right. It's like you never tapped anything at all.
It's a coding cleanse. It's a data detox.
It's a For You page forgiveness. That's what it is.
But Yetis, then Instagram's going to start personalizing again based on the next thing that you tap.
So be careful with those topless Rafael Nadal pictures out there.
Tap wisely.
Mattress, mattress, mattress. Jack, let's hit our 3 stories.
15 years before this song, 2 boys from the Northeast met in the dorm. They had an idea that caused a cultural storm. It's the best one yet, but the best is the norm. Jack, Nick, that's it. I don't even think they need to practice. 50%, that's a fat tip. TBOY City on your at-list. If you know, you know, cause we ready to go. We can't wait no more, so just start the show. Start the show.
For our first story, McDonald's is bringing back the McRib, and it's even selling a new McRib sauce in a jug to go along with it.
But the McRib is way more strategic than you ever realized.
It's the most strategic thing we have ever seen.
But first, Yetis, last year we told you about the McRib effect.
The McRib effect. Best thing for your mouth, worst thing for pigs. Here's the McRib effect. When the McRib is on McDonald's menu, stocks in the market rise.
It's wild and it's fantastic.
The data analyst, Nick Maguli, ran the numbers on this thing. And Jack, what did he discover about the McRib?
On days that the McRib is available on McDonald's menu, the S&P 500 rises 3 times more on average than days the McRib is not available.
Sit down, stand up, and please more McRibs.
I mean, compound that 3x performance.
Yeah.
That's night and day difference.
Jerry Powell, we know how to boost the economy. It's actually a great example that correlation does not mean causation.
Still, Goldman Sachs is probably ordering 1 million McRibs right now.
McRibs for the whole trading floor, baby.
But Yetis, whether you eat the McRib or not, you might notice it's randomly available and it's randomly not available.
It's basically been on and off the menu at McDonald's since 1981. It's done farewell tours and it's done dramatic returns.
Well, they're doing another dramatic return.
Spoiler.
As of next week, the McRib is back on the menu at McDonald's.
But this time, the McRib has some company, and that company is McRib's giant barbecue sauce.
McDonald's is selling a jug of McRib sauce. For $19.99, you get a half gallon of this special sauce.
That's right. You can now wash down your pork patty with a whole pint of sauce. Jack, if you drown in this thing, you drown happy. That's the nice positive.
I don't know about that, but this is the first time that McDonald's has ever sold their secret sauces separately.
Yeah, McDonald's, pro tip, sell your special sauce.
The Big Mac special sauce.
Thank us in the morning.
And I would die happy in that case.
But Yetis, here's what Jack and I found fascinating about this story. It feels like McDonald's has once again chosen a random time to bring back the McRib.
But when you dive into the data, you discover that the dates that McRib comes back is actually highly strategic.
So let's jump in TBOY style. Yetis, according to Sherwood's research, they looked at the last 3 times McDonald's introduced the McRib.
They brought it back in 2017, in 2020, and in 2022.
And Jack, what was McDonald's business situation during each of those 3 McRib moments?
Sales were slowing or sales were falling.
So McDonald's seemed to bring back the McRib when it was struggling. And Jack, what is McDonald's situation right now this year?
It's struggling. Sales fell this summer, and now since then, they've had the $19 Big Mac inflation drama. They've had the E. coli outbreak even more recently.
And the stock is actually down in 2024. Not a good situation, Ronnie.
So the plan? Once again, they're bringing back the McRib.
McRib is coming back next week.
If revenues are dropping, McRibs are popping.
So Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at the McDonald's McRib?
The McRib is more than strategic. It's McDonald's superhero.
So Yetis, the data shows that if McDonald's is in distress, they call up the McRib. It's like they shine a bat signal and they get the McRib to return like Batman.
But if we dive deeper into the data, it turns out McRib is even more strategic than that.
Get this. McDonald's also happens to reintroduce the McRib when pork prices are down.
The last 4 times the McRib was reintroduced, hog prices had just fallen by 20% or more.
So what we're saying, besties, is that Ronnie McDonald is one savvy dude. He's buying the mother pork and dip.
What we're saying is that the McRib is McDonald's strategic double dipper.
I like what you did there, Jack, because it is a double dip. McDonald's brings back the McRib when they want to restart sales growth, and they also bring back the McRib when it costs less to make the McRib.
That means the McRib is more than a profit puppy. It's a superhero.
It's a superhero product. For our second story, Black Friday is dead. Long live Blackvember.
There are 2 strategic reasons why Black Friday has become an entire month.
And we will tell you both of them. But Jack, I'm looking at the calendar now, and it is 2 months until my birthday. You didn't say anything, but that's fine. And it is 1 week until Black Friday. Not too shabby.
Black Friday, the one day it's socially acceptable to ignore phone calls and trample small children in pursuit of that Sony television.
Honey, I lost a finger, but I got the air fryer. Black Friday, it remains, despite everyone's attempt, to be the top shopping day of the entire year.
Lululemon's biggest sales day ever was Black Friday last year, driven by sales of the belt bag.
Fanny pack, it was a profit puppy. But Yetis, have you noticed that Black Friday deals are already here?
Yesterday, I looked at Amazon.com and it said Black Friday week is here.
Jack, I can one-up you on that one. 2 weeks ago, Best Buy announced Black Friday is already here.
Even though it wasn't here.
Get this, even before that, November 11th, that is technically Singles Day. And what is Singles Day?
It's a Chinese shopping holiday that has been adopted by U.S. brands.
Oh, and a couple weeks before that, Amazon did a 2-day Prime Day in the month of October, 1 month before Black Friday.
Yetis, you already knew that Black Friday had merged with the days after and Cyber Monday to become one post-Thanksgiving splurge.
Yeah, you're not even eating turkey these days. You're already halfway through a line at your local Williams-Sonoma.
But now, pre-Thanksgiving, Black Friday has stretched into an entire month.
The way Jack and I see it, Black Friday is now Blackvember.
And to find out why, we checked out this newsletter called Curious Commerce. And Yetis, you're going to have to pop your collar because this example is all about J. Crew.
That's right. J. Crew is actually the perfect case study on the Blackvember phenomenon. And why is that, Jack?
On November 9th, almost 3 weeks ago, J. Crew launched their Black Friday preview sale. 3 weeks before Black Friday, they had a preview sale.
And the reason they did it is because they wanted to see what you would click on during the pre-Black Friday preview sale.
Because what you click on helps them prepare for the actual Black Friday.
Like, follow us on this one. If J. Crew sees big clicks for the coastal blue sweater, then that is valuable data for J. Crew to analyze.
J. Crew is going to send word to fulfillment and logistics that coastal blue is going to be the top color of this holiday season. So make extra.
They all want coastal blue. Load up the yarn, boys.
Thanks to their Black Friday preview, J. Crew knows 3 weeks in advance what they need to stock up on.
J. Crew knows coastal blue is going to be hot in 3 weeks, and they can be prepared.
Which leads to the second reason that Black Friday has been stretched into Blackvember.
And that second reason is our takeaway. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over shopping right now while they're listening to this podcast?
Demand, it's like clay. It can be sculpted and it needs to be smoothed.
Now, Yetis, imagine if you didn't do any work all week long, and then suddenly you just crammed a whole week's of work in.
Are you saying we'd have to do 5 podcasts in one day, Nick?
If we had to do 5 podcasts in one day, we couldn't do it.
I'd be so stressed, extremely anxious, I'd probably break in half.
Well, that feeling Jack's describing, that is what retail is like on Black Friday. You got logistics, staffing, customer service. It all surges on one single day.
And since 70% of Black Friday purchases are gifts, then the pressure is on. They need to arrive well before Christmas so they can be gifted properly.
And that is why the second reason brands are spreading out Black Friday is to smooth out the orders.
If retailers can spread out orders across the month, then they avoid the logistical nightmares on Black Friday.
So, besties, you may not realize it, but stores are strategically smoothing out your demand.
That's why the biggest shopping day is now a shopping month.
Black Friday is now Blackvember. Hey Yetis, if you're a bestie, take a sec and hit that subscribe button.
And like this video while you're at it. If you leave a comment, by the way, we'll read it.
For our third and final story before the weekend, TurboTax and H&R Block tanked this week after an update from Elon Musk's DOGE.
This story highlights how incredibly ripe our government is for some efficiency upgrades.
Now, Jack, let's talk about the most talked about article in the Wall Street Journal this week. It was actually the most shared article this week.
Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy wrote an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, these 2 Trump-appointed men are leaders of the new Department of Government Efficiency, or as it's known in short, DOGE.
Their goal is to cut rules and regulations to save money and improve efficiency.
Now, in this article, they actually talked about one of their plans, which is to make it mandatory to return to the office for all 3 million federal government workers.
Now, they don't expect all 3 million workers to comply, and they're okay with that because that would give them grounds to terminate federal workers, which is one of their goals.
Which is one of the ways they want to save the government money.
But a different newspaper, the Washington Post, reported something else about DOGE this week.
And this we found fascinating. DOGE's next idea is to create a mobile app for Americans to file their taxes with the IRS for free.
And honestly, that's a fantastic idea.
It's a fantastic idea. And we're saying that because you don't want to deal with the 1040 W-2 Form 23B with the Schedule K-1.
Everyone hates how hard it is to file taxes. And it's a reason that people dislike the government.
And Jack, you know who hated this idea the most?
The tax filing companies?
Yeah, the tax filing duopoly that controls how you file your taxes.
Yeti's stock in H&R Block fell 9% the day of this news.
Intuit, which owns TurboTax, they fell 5% after this new free app news.
Because we've said on previous episodes of this show that these 2 tax filing rivals actually share the same goal. They want to keep taxes hard.
If you're H&R Block or TurboTax, you love that your adjusted gross income with a depreciated capture, excluding the cost basis on your W-2, is the jargon that nobody understands.
They love that it's hard because it makes you have to pay them because you can't do it yourself.
Jack and I have said it before. Filing taxes, it's the white whale of bureaucratic frustrations.
So a DOGE-developed free tax filing app would be awesome for most people, but bad for these 2 businesses.
If you happen to have a simpler income situation, you may just enter your social security number and then this app would tell you how much you owe or how much of a refund you get.
It should be that easy.
It should be, yeah. Instead, right now, we kind of play games with the IRS. Like, they know what we owe. We know what you owe. But they won't tell us what we owe. We have to tell them what we think we owe.
And Yetis, for at least 60 million people, their income is so simple, it's just like a W-2 income, that they should be able to simply submit their social security number and know how much taxes they owe.
Like we said, A new free tax filing app from the government? That would be awesome for us taxpayers, but it would be bad for TurboTax and H&R Block's business.
Both of those companies lost $1 billion in market cap this week on that news.
Like we said, filing taxes, it's the white whale of bureaucratic frustrations. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for everyone in the American economy?
DOGE could succeed where others have failed.
Yetis, the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, it's new, but the idea of making the government more efficient, that concept is not new.
Here's the truth. Just about every president since Ronald Reagan has campaigned on simplifying government, reducing waste, and improving efficiency.
In fact, President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act created the first free online portal to file your taxes. And you know what? 100,000 Americans used that in its first year.
But that filing system, developed by the Biden administration, was developed by the IRS and a tech nonprofit.
On the other hand, DOGE's app, if it happens, it could feasibly have the best private tech workers in the entire world working on it. Elon is running this department.
Not just Elon, Silicon Valley elites like Peter Thiel, Mark Andreessen, and Elon could build a wonderful tax filing app and gift it to the IRS. That could plausibly happen.
So besties, last week we told you how since there are so many mandatory spending programs in the government, it would be hard for this new DOGE commission to figure out how to save money.
But it just might have the political will and the tech skills to do what other administrations couldn't.
Jack, could you whip up the takeaways for us for the real Friday?
McDonald's brings back the McRib when pork prices are low and when sales are struggling.
The McRib, it's not just strategic, it's McDonald's superhero. It's a superhero product.
For our second story, it's Black Friday. It's not Black Friday anymore. It's spread across the whole month.
Yeah, Black Friday is now Blackvember because companies want to smooth out your orders like clay.
And our third and final story is the tax filing companies. They sank this week on news that DOGE might create a free tax filing app.
DOGE could succeed where other administrations have failed.
But Yetis, this pod's not over yet. Here's what else you need to know today.
Ben, the Bitcoin is having another bit mitzvah. Bitcoin is approaching $100,000. More people are buying than selling.
It's always tough to explain why Bitcoin is up or down, but it's at $99,000 as of this recording.
Since Trump's election, Bitcoin is now up 43%.
Second, Gladiator 2 hits theaters this weekend. And I'm going on a date with Alex.
Yeah.
My first movie theater date with her in 5 years.
If I know you and I know you, Jack, you're going to bring your own popcorn to this thing? I feel like you got your own tub.
I'm getting the biggest tub with all the butter and a gigantic Diet Pepsi.
Well, when it comes to the numbers, Gladiator 2 spent $250 million on the movie and another $100 million on the marketing.
And since the studio splits ticket revenues with the movie theaters, they need to make $700 million at the box office just to break even.
Yeah, so the Maximus question that really matters, are you entertained?
Are you not entertained? Wow, I can't believe you butchered that.
My Latin is off, Jack. My Latin is rusty. And finally, banana duct tape, the art we told you about earlier this week, sold for $6 million. It's duct tape, a banana, instructions, and that's it. You got to bring your own wall.
And a majority of you in our Spotify poll said it would go for less than $1.5 million.
Well, it turns out the majority of us were wrong. Banana duct tape to a wall, the piece of art, sold for $6 million.
And honestly, as we predicted, it went to a Bitcoin bro.
It really did go to a Bitcoin bro.
No joke. It sold for $6 million to some crypto guy who says he's going to eat the banana.
A $6 million banana. Now, time for the best fact yet. This one sent in by legendary Yeti Tiffany Schmidt over in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Does Thanksgiving feel late this year?
I mean, I'm already freezing. It's like dark at 1 p.m., Jack. Yeah, it feels pretty late this year.
Thanksgiving is actually falling the latest it ever does. The fourth Thursday of this month is the 28th of the month.
Which is the last possible Thursday that Thanksgiving could ever fall on.
The reason? The first of the month was Friday.
Yeah, in fact, Thanksgiving will not be this late in November until the year 2030.
That's all I got to say about that.
And that's all we got to say about that. Yetis, you looked fantastic all week. And for this weekend, Jack and I have arranged the perfect plan for you.
Listen to the best idea yet. Our latest episode is on the untold and wild origin story of Levi's jeans.
That's right. Levi's jeans was the first jeans ever, and it's become the best-selling jeans in history.
So lean back and listen to our 45-minute deep dive on the wild story of Levi's.
Check out the best idea yet. That's our new show, and we've even got a link in the episode description. That's how excited we are for you to check this thing out.
Now enjoy this 9-day weekend, and Nick and I will see you Monday.
Jack, enjoy the movie. See you then. And before we go, a happy 10-month anniversary to everyone else born on January 22nd who didn't get acknowledged at the top of the podcast.
Wait, did you say half birthday?
No, it's my Q4 birthday, Jack. It's my Q4 birthday. And Emily Tiernan is celebrating a birthday. Congratulations, Emily. Thanks for being a Yeti.
Big shout out to Isaiah Alvarez in Hawthorne, California, who listened to T-Boy with his auntie.
And Mika Park down the street in San Francisco is competing in her first High Rocks competition this weekend in Dallas with a birthday.
Happy birthday to Georgia Chang in Beijing, China, who introduced T-Boy to her hubby.
Celebrate that win. And Alejandro Lopez is turning 39 years old in Bergen, Norway, balancing the budget and the family with a big birthday brunch.
Happy birthday to Esther Sujin Kim in Hawaii, who's using her freedom days over in Hawaii.
If you know, you know. And Devin McLaughlin's turning 29 years old over in New York City. El Dev Meister. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday to Katie Barilski in Denver, Colorado, who's getting fondue with baby Nolan and her husband Derek. I freaking love fondue.
Oh, drop a McRib in there. And Hannah A is celebrating a birthday in Charlotte, North Carolina with some cats and some rock climbing.
And happy birthday to Danny Oliva in Orange, California, who's celebrating with his wife and 3 kids, going to see Wicked. To each their own. Apparently, he's not entertained.
Celebrate the wins.
This is Jack. I own stock of Amazon, and Nick and I both own 1 Bitcoin, whose name is Ben. Sorry, I really threw you under the bus there.